when he does something, God makes a promise. He going to promise your children or your children's children going down through the generations. Even if you don't get it, your children will get it. This is what I love about God, because he's a God of his word.
Yeah.
So in relations to this, God says, I'm talking. This is my subject for today. He said, I'm talking, but are you really listening?
Wow.
Israel heard and they accepted and they agreed this covenant. And God said, I formed a covenant with you all when I went up and made the 10 commandments for you. And if you will, turn with me to Deuteronomy, the 5th chapter. And Deuteronomy, the 5th chapter, talks about the covenant that God had made. And I asked myself today, I said, what does it mean to have a covenant? And covenant, it means to have a bond or fetter. It is translated into the Greek as synthet, binding together, or diathet, which is the will testament. In the Bible, then, a covenant is a relationship based upon mutual commitments. It typically involves promises, obligations, and rituals. The terms testament and covenant can be used interchangeably, though covenant tends to be used for the relationship between Jews and God. And this morning, as I read the 10 Commandments, God is saying to us, if he says that I'm talking, but are you really listening? Because first of all, my first point is you have to be obedient. Right. And he said, Moses summoned all Israel and said, Hear, O Israel, the decrees and laws I declare in your hearing today. Learn them and be sure to follow them. The Lord our God made a covenant with us at Horeb. It was not with our fathers that the Lord made this covenant, but with us, with all of us who are alive here today. The Lord spoke to you face to face out of the fire on the mountain. At that time, I stood between the Lord and you to declare to you the word of the Lord, because you were afraid of the fire and did not go up to the mountain. And he said, with the first commandment, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. And how many of us this morning, God has brought us out of slavery, out of a bondage, out of something we was in. And we said, Lord, if you just bless me, if you just bless me, Lord, I'll serve you faithfully. If you just bless me, Lord, I live the rest of my life doing what you said I would do. But no longer than when God make that promise and things start going, you start getting the money that you need. You start getting the job that you need. You start walking in the way that God will have you to walk. Then, after a while, you say, well, I got everything I need. Jesus. Then we're going to put God right back on the shelf and say, Lord, I'll get you when I need you later. Jesus. But God is saying that I am the Lord, your God. Yeah. And then he says in the second, he said, you shall have no other gods before me. So whatever you put before God, and God said that could be your car, that could be your husband, that could be your wife, that could be your clothes, that could be anything that you put before him. And God say, I am a jealous God, and there should be nothing, he goes on to say, you shall not make for yourself an idol in the form of anything in heaven, or on earth, beneath, or in the waters below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children of the sin of the fathers to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing love to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments. But God said today, I have put my commandments before you, but are you really listening? Jesus. He said, I'm talking, and I've been talking, but are you listening? He says that you are not to put anything before me. Amen. So why is it that whenever we get things like go shopping and put our clothes on and get dressed up and we think we all there?
Come on, talk about it.
How about when we get us a new car or a new house? We forget about those people behind us that are still struggling to get there. Right. And then we put those things in place of God. So God said, I can't serve you. I can't do anything for you. I can't help you. God is saying, I can't do anything for you because you blocked me. You blocked me with those idle things that you put before me. Then he says, and then not only does when we mess up and we do things that we shouldn't, I'm coming out of the fifth chapter of Deuteronomy. And God is saying that anything you put before me, that's your God.
Wow.
And God said, I don't care what it is. He said,